Now, the big question here is it possible to transform failure into success? What do you think? Is it possible that somebody that is failing can suddenly start making good decisions and become a successful person? Is possible? Absolutely, it's possible. How do we call that? We call it a learning process. It's exactly what we call it, right? It's a learning process. We learn something new, we get good information so we can make a good decision, and then we succeed. It's a learning process. Now, when we are young, little, we don't know much about many things, so our source of information is limited. Therefore, we don't make the best decisions. But through the learning process, we can succeed in life. Let me take you to the scripture. This passage in Jeremiah 17:9 tells us something very interesting. The heart is more deceitful than everything else and is desperately sick. Who can understand it? This scripture is telling us something that many people do not know, and some people just are unaware of it, and others refuse to believe because they think that by nature we are good people. And you know what? The scripture tells us precisely the opposite, is that our hearts are deceitful and desperately sick. And who can understand our hearts? And we all go through seasons. And there are seasons where we feel so confident that what we are doing is right. This feeling is good. I got the feeling. I think this is going to work well. I got the feeling this is the right person for my life, or this is the right decision. This is the right thing to do, and whatever. And we are just so convinced about that. And what we are not aware is that it's just coming from our heart. And our heart is deceitful. Sometimes it's very deceitful. And we don't understand why we feel that way. But the truth is, based on how we feel, you see, not an information, we just jump into that, and then afterwards, boom, surprise, surprise. So this adjective that I am introducing to you comes from the Giant's Royal Academy of English Grammar. It's a joke, of course. This adjective, Boonie, is someone who lacks wisdom, but he is not aware of it. A Boonie is somebody that doesn't make sound decisions, doesn't have the wisdom, the intelligence, the understanding to make right decisions, but this person is not aware of it. It's a Boonie. And I want to introduce you to this concept for several reasons. I want to ask you, just by looking at the picture here, the screen, do you see anything wrong here in this picture? Well, you see a nice pickup truck, right? And of course, because I don't want to offend anybody, the license plate is removed. We don't want to expose anybody. But what is the thing that you notice there that doesn't look good? Okay, very good. Good observation. Now, if I show you this picture coming from both sides, you will notice much better. The problem is the way that this vehicle is parked, correct? On the one side, you see the car is on the line. On the other side, has much more space. Apparently, it's something insignificant, something that we see all the time, and we are just used to that, and we just don't care. But just for the sake of the illustration and the concept of a Boonie, let me show you now a better angle of the situation, which is the back. Now, this particular vehicle is those vehicles that have this gigantic bed, those double tires or very wide tires in the back. So if you pay close attention to the picture, you will see that now One side is still the vehicle is in the right spot, but the other side is covering now a good percentage of the other side, the other spot. Right? Now, still you will say, that's okay. You know, things like that happen all the time. That's the problem. That's the problem. We are being affected. We disagree with that. We see that all the time, and it seems like it's okay. But it's not okay. Because there are areas where people with vehicles like that can park. Now, this is a restaurant. Which part of the restaurant is this? The very entrance of the restaurant. You see? Now, if you come with me again to the characteristics of failure, we said that people that fail, they live life with a lot of stress, they are troubled, they are broke. We said that. And some people, that we can refer to them like a boonie, sometimes they don't have much stress, they probably are not in too much trouble, they even have the money to go to a restaurant or do things. But there is one element in failure that they are missing, is that they bring disappointment upon other people by creating problems. You see that? And eventually those problems are going to come to them as a boomerang, because you don't know who is the person who is on the other spot, slot, in the parking lot. You have no idea the kind of problems that can bring. Just a simple illustration of this issue. Now, if you review with me the definition, a boonie is someone who lacks wisdom, but he's not aware of it. You see? He's not aware of it. This person came with his truck and parked there where he thought was good. He was not aware of it. He never thought about it, you know. He saw the spot, he parked, get out of the truck, get into the restaurant, and from the door, he looks at his truck and says he's okay. He was not aware of it. Maybe. You see? The heart is more deceitful than everything else, and it is desperately sick. Who can understand it?